Hello. So this week is all about stopping and taking time and working out things in your daily rhythm that enable you to just stop and spend time with God. And not just in your daily rhythm, but in your weekly rhythm, maybe even in what you do in a year. And so the title for this week is Discover the Rhythm of the Daily Office and Sabbath. And when the EHS material refers to the daily office, it's all about that process of not just reading some scripture maybe, or spending some time in prayer and pouring out our shopping list to God, often like we do, but it's actually about taking some time just to be silent. And that can be really hard. And I want to encourage you even tonight, here's a bit of a challenge for you, to start the whole thing tonight after you've watched this with, let's say, even just a minute, but maybe even a couple of minutes of complete silence. And when you have that silence, I want to challenge you to just be able to put aside everything of the day and listen into God. And then as you do that, and as you finish doing that, think about what has happened during it. Because if you're anything like me, what happens is after about the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, all the things of the day start to crowd in again. All the things you've got to do tomorrow, or oh, I forgot to do that, or I forgot to pick up the milk, or whatever it was. And it's a really deliberate process of actually getting rid of all of those again. So it's well worth doing that as a small group as you start tonight, and then really honestly discussing how much of a challenge was that. Finding silence in our day and taking time to stop can be a really difficult thing to do, because let's face it, this sort of world we live in, we're quite addicted to action and busyness and noise and our phones and screens and all of that sort of stuff. So do make sure that you spend a bit of time tonight just talking really honestly about the challenges with all of that. And then the other half of it is this whole concept of Sabbath, which again, in the busyness of this sort of world we live in, we have shops and restaurants and people to visit and all sorts of things that are open on Sundays. And so perhaps 50, 70, 100 years ago, Sunday would have been a very quiet day naturally. It's not like that now. People have to work on Sundays, people have to go long journeys on Sundays, all sorts of things going on. Maybe you work for the church, so Sundays is a really busy day because we are working in order to provide all the services and the arrangements that are needed for Sundays. That doesn't mean we can't have Sabbath. God really deliberately and intentionally said that he wanted us to have a day, 24 hours, where we stop doing everything. For him in creation, it was when he sat back and said, yeah, this is good. Everything I've made, it's good. And it's a place for us to stop and enjoy life. And there are some questions to look at tonight about what we can do in this 24-hour period we might have to really deliberately carve out for ourselves. And it's stop, rest, delight, and contemplate. And I want to encourage you to have some really good discussion about that tonight. What would it mean for you to find that 24-hour block of time? I know for me, with all the business of Sundays, that is, I am trying to make that from around tea time on Friday to tea time on Saturday, because that for me works. And it's not a time where you're supposed to sort of just do nothing and read the Bible for 24 hours. It's a time when it should be free of whatever you might call work, whether that's paid or unpaid. So if work for you is even the whole trudge of cooking meals, if that's work for you, or cleaning or whatever it is, don't do it in that 24-hour period. Find another time in the week to do it. If, though, delight for you is cooking, because you absolutely love the creativity of it, then put that into your Sabbath, because it should be about stopping, resting, delighting and contemplating. What do you delight to do? What do you love to do? What fires you up? What inspires you? Do that in your Sabbath. Who do you want to be with in your Sabbath? Friends, or on your own, or family? choose what that is for you. So I hope you have some really good discussion about this tonight, because I think it's something that's a real challenge for us, and yet is so absolutely vital in our relationship with God and going deeper with him. So have a good evening. See you later.